Most people spend their whole lives chasing blessings they can see. The car, the money, the dream vacation they keep posting about. And look, I'm not saying those things are bad. But I want to talk to you today about something that goes way deeper than that. Because I've met people with everything the world calls success, and they were completely empty inside. And I've met people who looked like they had nothing, no fancy job, no big following, no clout, and they had this peace about them that money absolutely cannot buy. So today I want to share 5 things. And if you have even one of them, I want you to hear me when I say this. God has already blessed you more than you know. Blessing 1. You woke up this morning. I'm starting here because I feel like people skip over this one every single day. We roll over on our bed, grab our phone, and check Instagram before we even say good morning to God. And we don't even think twice about the fact that we're alive. There were people last night who went to sleep and didn't wake up. People who had plans for today. Appointments, family dinners, dreams they hadn't finished yet, and they didn't get to see this morning. But you did. You opened your eyes. Your lungs are working. Your heart is beating. That is not something you earned. That is not something you deserve more than anyone else. That is grace. That is God saying, I still have something for you to do. I remember going through one of the hardest seasons of my life, and I mean genuinely dark, and someone told me, if you woke up, that means your purpose isn't finished. That hit me somewhere deep. Because on the days I didn't feel like I had anything going for me, I still had that. I still had another morning. If you woke up today, do not take it lightly. That's not luck. That's a blessing. Blessing 2. You have people who genuinely love you. I want you to really think about this before you skip past it. I'm not talking about followers. I'm not talking about people who like your Instagram posts or show up when things are good. I'm talking about real love. The kind of love that calls you just to check in. The kind that shows up when you're falling apart. The kind that tells you the truth even when it's uncomfortable. If you have one person in your corner like that, you are wealthy in a way that the world can't measure. I think sometimes we get so focused on the relationships we don't have, the ones that ended, the people who left, the friendships that just faded, that we completely overlook the ones God kept in our lives. The ones that are still standing there, still choosing us. Don't let the noise of what's missing drown out the gift of what's still there. If you have someone who loves you genuinely, a parent, a friend, a sibling, a partner, anybody, that is not coincidence. God placed that person in your life. That's a blessing. Treat it like one. Blessing number 3. You've been through something hard and survived it. This one is personal. Not everybody is going to understand this, but somebody watching this right now needs to hear it. The thing you went through, maybe was the end of a relationship that you never saw coming. Maybe it was a health diagnosis that stopped you. Maybe it was a financial collapse, a broken family, a betrayal from someone you trusted completely. Maybe it was a season of depression so dark that getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain every single day. But you're still here. You're still breathing. You might still be healing, and that's okay. Healing doesn't happen overnight. But the fact that you survived it means something. It means God wasn't done with you. It means there's still a story being written. People who've been through the fire come out with something that can't be faked. A depth, a compassion, an understanding of what actually matters. That's not a small thing. That's one of the greatest gifts God gives, the ability to look at your own pain and turn it into something that helps somebody else. If you've been through hard things and you're still standing, that's a blessing. And a big one. Blessing number 4, you have peace in your heart. This one might actually be the hardest blessing to recognize. Because it doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with a sign. It just sits there quietly underneath everything else. And the reason it's so hard to notice is because we live in a world that is loud. Constant noise, constant comparison, constant pressure coming from every direction telling you that you need to be more. Do more. Have more. Show more. The news is pulling you toward fear. Social media is pulling you toward envy. The calendar is pulling you toward exhaustion. And in the middle of all of that, if you have peace, that is nothing short of supernatural. Now I want to be very clear about what I mean when I say peace. Because I'm not talking about everything in your life being perfect. I'm not talking about having it all figured out. I'm not talking about the absence of problems or stress or uncertainty. You can have a lot of things going on in your life and still have peace. You can have real challenges, real struggles, real unknowns about your future, and still have this thing underneath all of it. This steadiness. This quiet knowing that says, I don't have all the answers, and I don't know exactly how this is going to work out, but I know that I am going to be okay. I know that I am not alone in this. I know that whatever comes next, I will not have to face it by myself. That kind of peace is not something you can manufacture. You cannot think your way into it. You cannot buy it. You cannot fake it for very long. That kind of peace only comes from one place, from a real relationship with God that has been tested enough times that you have actually seen Him come through. And now, even in the dark, you know the light is coming. I think about people I have met who were going through things that should have had them completely falling apart. And yet, they had this calm about them that made no sense from the outside. And when you asked them how they were doing it, how they were staying so steady through something so hard, they couldn't always fully explain it. They would just say something like, I don't know. I just feel like God is with me. That is the peace I am talking about. The peace the Bible describes as surpassing all understanding. Peace that doesn't make logical sense based on your circumstances. Peace that the world didn't give you, and therefore the world cannot take away. If you have that, even a small trace of it, guard it with everything you have, because the world will try to steal it from you every single day. Do not let it go easy. That peace is God's fingerprint on your life. That is His hand on your soul telling you, I am here. I have not left. You are held. Blessing number 5, you still have faith. And I saved this one for last because I truly believe it is the most important thing I am going to say in this entire video. I want to talk about faith. And I don't just mean going to church or knowing the right words to say. I mean that thing deep inside you that, even on the days you're tired, even on the days you're disappointed, even on the days God feels a million miles away, there's still a part of you that holds on. That still says, I don't understand all of this, but I'm not letting go. That's faith. And that is not nothing. That is everything. Because faith is what moves mountains. Faith is what opened the Red Sea. Faith is what brought people back from places they were never supposed to come back from. And if you still have it, even if it's small, even if it's been bruised, even if it's hanging by a thread, God can still work with that. Jesus didn't say you needed a mountain of faith. He said you needed faith the size of a mustard seed. A mustard seed is tiny, but it's alive, and that's enough. If you still believe, if there's still a part of you that prays, that hopes, that shows up even when it's hard, you are holding on to the greatest gift a person can have. That's not something the world gave you, and the world cannot take it away. So that is 5 blessings. Waking up, being loved, surviving hard seasons, having peace, and keeping your faith. And here's what I want to leave you with. You might have looked at this list and thought, I don't have all 5. And that's okay. Maybe you're still working through the hard season. Maybe the faith feels shaky right now. But if you have even one of these things, even one, that is God's fingerprint on your life. That is evidence that you are not forgotten, that you are seen, that you are covered. Don't let the world convince you that your blessings aren't big enough because they don't look like somebody else's. God's blessings are personal. They're made for you. So take a breath today. Look at what you have, not what's missing. And say thank you to God for it. If this video meant something to you, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these 5 blessings hit you the hardest. I genuinely want to know.